Zohran Mamdani and his team are proposing to create 200,000 new rent-stabilized homes and preserve, meaning like stabilize, safeguarding existing affordable units to keep them from converting to market rate or falling into disrepair for another 200,000 homes over the next 10 years. They're already thinking about the project more holistically than most projects. They're bringing in the normal planners, architects, engineers, but they're also including community organizers, housing advocates, and people who understand how neighborhoods actually function. They're demonstrating that local government can think at the scale of whole systems instead of isolated problems. It's so fucking badass. But just like the bat signal guy who's like, Mamdani,
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 Mamdani.
we need to correct this, we need to correct that. I think there's one more emerging field that belongs as part of this conversation, if it's not already. It's called neuroarchitecture, Neuro architecture. It's an emerging field that sits at the intersection of architecture, psychology, neuroscience, and public health. It centers the question, how does the environment we're building shape the human nervous system over time? Isn't that so cool? Not just like, can someone live here, but how will someone feel living here after 10 years? Not just the person living in the unit, but the community surrounding it. How will they feel about this building in 10 years? How does the light affect their sleep? How do the trees change stress? How do materials, color, texture, and proportion influence whether people feel calm or constantly on alert? How do its shared spaces encourage people to gather and walk and meet their neighbors and spend time outside? I think they're doing part of that already, but those aren't decorative questions. They are questions about public health. Every profession optimizes for what it knows how to measure. So like architects understand buildings, engineers, systems, urban planners understand cities, community organizers understand neighborhoods. A neuroarchitect asks the question beyond the form, beyond the function, beyond the safety of the space. What is this environment teaching the human nervous system? That feels like knowledge we're bringing into a project that's already trying to redefine what public housing can be. For a while now, we've been very masculine and patriarchal about it, very systems oriented. We've treated beauty like it's something that you add if there's money left over. But the more that I dive into the nervous system, the more I think beauty itself has been misunderstood or miscategorized. Although it is decoration, I don't think it's only decoration. It's functionally health. There's a hospital in Spain that I'm going to use an example. I've used it in a previous video where they recognized that the beauty, the architecture, colors, textures, the feeling of openness, the natural light contributed toward the healing of the patients in this hospital. And you will not believe that it's a hospital when I show you these pictures. I mean, are you kidding me? And it's not that everything has to look just like this, but this was something thoughtfully created with health, because it's a hospital, at the center, with the nervous system, with the healing, with flourishing at the center of its intention. I saw another video of a real estate agent in California saying the new luxury homes aren't going to be about posturing your wealth. It's going to be like, how does this space feed my nervous system? How does it nourish my nervous system? And I don't think that should be a luxury. And she's talking about materials, access to light. Do the colors, do the textures, do the shape of the buildings contribute toward a regulated nervous system? That's the next luxury. And I don't know that we have to have luxurious buildings as much as the same intention brought into these new spaces that we're creating. And I say we because I think the world feels like they're part of New York right now. We're just like, yeah, let us contribute. Oh my gosh, somebody's listening. We have ideas. That's why this housing team is so exciting, because they're proving what's possible. They're showing that government actually can think both holistically and listen to feedback that we're giving them. Housing that isn't just about units, housing that's about neighborhoods, access, affordability, dignity, and long-term stewardship, and about listening to the feedback of those people who are both living there, and they're open to new ideas. And I think this project is important, not just for New York, but for all cities across the US, because if New York can become a model for housing that's both affordable, sustainable, community-centered, and intentional around human well-being, the nervous system, it won't just change New York. It'll leverage the budget of New York, the resources of New York, the vision for affordability, sustainability, community-centeredness, intentional design, human well-being, the human nervous system. It'll expand what's imaginable for every city that comes after it. think this is part of it. Tell me what you guys think. Do you agree? I mean, do you agree or disagree? Somebody talk to me in the comments. I'm so curious. Somebody talk to me in the comments. Am I crazy? Somebody talk to me in the comments. You guys talk to me in the comments. What do you think?